Oh,
This
boy.
meeting is being recorded.
All right, we are live on all cameras.
All righty.
Apparently, I forgot my hat today.
Well, that's all right. I look like Weezer, so that's enough hat for anybody.
I have a cute little dachshund. I'll put him on my head.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute. I don't get it, but okay, that's cute. Go ahead.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the Lunch Bunch at the Spiritual Neighborhood. The Spiritual Neighborhood is a grassroots community project of the Council of Families for Children, dedicated to the quality of life for the body, mind, and spirit, for the integration of a happy, healthy human. And today we have Audra Watley right back with us. Audrey is the founder, welcome back, is the founder of Be Zen Holistic Wellness Center. And are you right in Plano, or is it just, oh no, it's Allen, right?
I'm in Allen.
You're Allen, right? So you're the founder of the Zen Holistic Wellness Center, and you do acupuncture. You do a lot of therapeutics that you don't have to use any, no needles, allergy treatments. Now, I came to you for acupuncture. It was amazing. It helped a lot with my lower back issues. I slept good for a few days. Of course, you know, you get back in that negative energy and it just pulls you right back in, right? And so I will be coming back. But today we wanted to talk a little bit more about the Chinese herbs. And tell us a little bit about how your supplements work for people that have allergies right now. Because right now we just dealt with the Sahara dust. A lot of us had headaches. A lot of us had issues with our, if they were asthma or whatever. So can you explain how some of these these Chinese herbs can help us with those issues?
Yeah, well, there's a number of different approaches, including Chinese herbs, but there's a number of different approaches that I use to work with allergies differing from person to person. I'll say really quick for my essential oil people, lavender, or lavender. Lavender and peppermint together. If you do 2 drops each, either in a shot glass with some water or in a capsule, for those acute like pollen type reactions, usually that helps just kind of like knock that out. If you already have them at home, that's a great way to go. With traditional Chinese herbs, there are several different formulas targeted at allergies, depending on what the source of it is, whether someone has allergies or whatever, asthma to go along with their allergies. As far as the dust itself, when you get dust clouds that are basically dropping in on us from halfway around the world, really the best thing to do is recirculated air in your air conditioning at home and in your car, and to stay out of it. I would say, like, if you're out mowing the lawns and stuff like that, then wearing a mask, but we're over inundated with wearing masks right now anyway. There's a lot of different ways that you can protect yourself from those sort of things. One of the pushback things that I get from some people with traditional Chinese herbs is they're like, oh my gosh, everything from China is tainted. That's not the truth, right?
Right.
Most of the herbs that I deal with are, it's like they may be grown in other parts of the world, but, they're manufactured and their quality standards are either done here in the U.S. or in Australia. We have a fantastic line that I use out of Australia, and one of the formulas that I use for allergies from them is actually called Autoimmune 1. And not that all allergies are autoimmune based, but allergies themselves are a ramped up response to, they're just an over exaggeration of the immune system, where the immune system has tagged something as harmful that's actually harmless. So anyway, hopefully that answers the question.
That's amazing. There's a lot of that going on right now, and I'll be coming back to see you soon, and I'm looking forward to that, because that it's not just a one-time treatment. It's something we have to do on a regular basis to keep our bodies in check and keeping us more healthy. Because some of us would go in and we take treatments and we take our supplements and we start to feel better, and then we stop them and then we start right all over again. So it's really important for people to understand this. this is something that's kind of a lifetime thing that you have to continue doing.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, a holistic lifestyle in general is something that it's a lifestyle. It's something you choose that is literally, I mean, something for the rest of your life. It's not something like, oh yeah, I'll eat healthy for a week. That's like getting a gym membership and going once and wondering why you're not.
Oh, I've done that. What's wrong with that?
I would say,
Don't judge. Don't judge.
Stay home in hopes that it helps. I don't know.
Yeah, I see it, so I am it. I see it, so I am it.
Right. But, with acupuncture itself, acupuncture is one of those things where it is cumulative at first. So the benefits do rely on consistency in the beginning. And then as people get better, that rebalancing, you can spread it out to 2 weeks, once a month, that sort of thing. But until we get to a place of like balanced and stable, it's hard to stay in that place of balance and stable when you go, just like she said, back out in the world and all of the same stuff hits you. And there you go. You're right back where you started.
Well, do you mix your own herbal tinctures or capsules, or do you buy them already mixed, or how does that work for you?
For liability reasons, I buy them already patented and mixed and sealed and all that sort of stuff. When I first started out, with patent formulas, and I would make my own capsules and modify them. But my insurance regulation companies didn't like that because that it could come back on my business or me or whatever if somebody goes out there and they get an allergic reaction to something that they ate, and then they come back and blame it for the herbs. And it's like that sort of thing. It happens.
Do you?
I've got a question.
Yeah.
Is this something that is different during the seasons? Is this a seasonal thing, or can you just take one thing for the entire year, no matter what's popping up?
So when it comes to seasonal allergies themselves, really the best thing that I have for that is the advanced allergy therapeutic system that I use, because that is very targeted and specific to, ragweed all the way down to the molecule, or the tree, whether it's, mountain cedar or oak, or, whichever tree it is, and we can get literally all the way down to the specific molecule of what's going on, and we clear that response at the brain level so that your immune system isn't activating anymore. And it's not that your immune system doesn't respond normally. It does respond normally. It's just not responding negatively to something that's harmless.
Got it. Awesome.
That also lets us, that particular system also lets us, I kind of joke and say, we send a digital signal that pulls up the file in your brain. So it may be the P file for pollens, right, and it even show that it's tree pollens, but then, your brain still has a T file over here for the trees, and we have to go into the trees and find the right one. So it's just more specific, and specifically for those seasonal allergy stuff, that's what I find to be really the most beneficial and the most effective. When it comes to taking herbs and taking things like that overall, like I said, that autoimmune response to people that are hyperactivated because they're eating foods that they have sensitivities to that they don't even know about, or they're constantly getting exposed to something that's creating a reaction, and then they've got inflammation, and it just stays with them consistently. Now, those are things that adding an herbal or adding an over-the-counter or something like that can be helpful. But a lot of times I would say, knock it out so that it doesn't bother you, and stop eating the things that create inflammation. I mean,
so what are those? Name 3 foods that are going to be your top culprits for things like that.
Yeah. Actually, there's 5. You ready?
Name 5.
Wheat, dairy, corn, sugar, and soy.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, those are the biggest culprits.
Okay, you said wheat, and what was the second one?
Dairy.
Dairy. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wheat, dairy, corn, sugar, and soy.
Okay, so you named 5 culprits that we shouldn't eat those things because they're allergy. And I know that you told me when I came that bread was causing a lot of my bloating issues, which actually is true because I stopped eating bread. I think since I've seen you, I had 1 slice, maybe 2 tops. and every day I was eating toast with my breakfast. So I stopped doing that. I realized that. What are the 5 things we can replace it with?
Right. I mean, so, at this point in time, we've come so far with being able to eat gluten-free. There's a bucket load of gluten-free products out there. I'm not saying that they're good for you, but they are better in their alternatives. Ideally, we could find sources of and make our own bread with things that weren't inundated with pesticides and other things. But I think that some of the reason that so many of us have sensitivities to wheat and gluten is because of the farming practices. And when I say the farming practices, it's like over the last 50 years, what used to be grain that grew 4 feet high and had a, grain piece about this big, it's like now they grow 6 to 8 feet high and the grain on them is like this, right? And what that's done is it's, ramped up how much gluten is in that thing to make it a bigger, prettier plant. And it's a bigger, prettier plant that before they harvest it, they go spray the fields with glyphosate so that they can kill off all the weeds. And that way they don't have to deal with them when they pop it down and bring it in for use. And so we're just inundated with inflammatory molecules on that one particular product. So anything that's made with wheat, our body starts to react to, even if it's a better source or even if it's better quality, because we've now tagged wheat as harmful because of all the other stuff that we're exposed to because of it.
Do you think that the fungus that grows on corn could also be a contributing factor to all these issues?
I would say it's a combination of things. Fungus is one of them. With corn, corn is probably one of the most genetically modified things out there. And one of the things they genetically modified it to do was to kill off fungus and bacteria so that they had a nice, healthy crop. Well, it doesn't stop killing off fungus and bacteria when it gets into your gut.
Oh, wow.
And your gut needs those bacteria to function properly. So, if you can find non-GMO organic corn products, then, you're probably fine. But at the same time, it's like we can't even guarantee that something that's considered non-GMO actually is, because the same bees, they pollinate this field and then they go over here and they pollinate this field. So it's one of those things where there's even crossbreeding among the crops that should be non-GMO. So, because unfortunately, and I'll be honest, like corn is my downfall. I love me some tortilla chips.
All right, let me throw this at you. I was tested for allergies many years ago because I had really bad allergies for years. I had asthma that I'm actually allergic to the asthma medications. So I had to manage asthma because there was nothing to do except go to the hospital if I had an attack. And so I went through the testing and they found out I have no food allergies. What I'm allergic to, though, I am allergic to every single grass in this world. Every single grass and cedar and evergreens. And so they're going, okay, we'll do the shots. I was allergic to the shots. They were giving me children's level shots and had to take me to the ER. And I still have a lump in my arm from the shot. So I had no other recourse than to figure out some way mentally to manage this. And so, over the years I have, but I would still have remnants of sinus problems anytime I was outside, and I have been treating it successfully for 5 years with colloidal silver. Do you use that for anything?
I do recommend it occasionally. It's not one that I carry because it's not part of my nutraceutical well-researched lines. I know that there's some good research out there. I know that it's very effective in a lot of things. I have patients that have the machines that create it, and so we kind of
Oh, that's interesting.
Get those kind of things. So I am familiar with it, and I've used it for other things in the past. It's interesting that we all have our history where we've tried things and it didn't work or whatever else, or we became toxic. And when I was in grad school, I was doing a lot of colloidal silver for different things, and I was making jewelry with silver because I had a business that I was, it was a jewelry business. So I was making jewelry and all this, and I became toxic to silver. So
wow.
And it wasn't the colloidal silver itself, it was the fact that I had my hands on it and I was working in it and I was using it all the time. So, we all have our own experiences of whatever products work for us. And if you find something that's working for you, fantastic.
Well, I don't drink it. I do not drink it. I actually swab the inside of my nose with it. And a nurse at the hospital recommended that for me when I had my knee replacement. Weird place to get that kind of information. But have you ever heard anyone having problems with the shots like that? Is that unusual or is that pretty common?
Oh, so the whole purpose of the shots is to give your body a little exposure to the thing that you're allergic to so that it creates its own tolerance. And so I kind of think of them, and this is going to be a really kind of graphic experience, but if you walked into your bedroom and every time you walked into your bedroom, somebody slapped you, at first it would be annoying. And eventually you would just be like, okay, give it to me, right? And so, that's kind of the mindset, I guess, behind those type of allergy shots is that eventually you'll get used to it if you're exposed to microparticles all the time. Now I can say that from the time I was very small, was allergic to eggs. I did allergy shots for eggs and, my doctor said, she's fine, go do whatever you would usually do. And, over the years, if I had too many eggs in a week, it would give me a stomach ache. But everybody kept telling me, eat eggs, here's your eggs for breakfast. And so it wasn't until about 4 or 5 years ago when I did my own allergy testing that I was like, I am still highly allergic to eggs. I just have a bigger tolerance, but my tolerance wasn't even enough to cover how allergic to them I was.
Wow.
So I just don't eat, it's not that I don't eat eggs. I limit the amount of eggs I eat to once or twice a week.
Right.
And so it's like those are the kind of things where allergy shots, they can help, but for the amount of time you invest in trying to get those shots, and then, yes, some people do have reactions to the shots themselves. But
once was enough for me. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that again. Yeah. Nope, done. That's no good.
Yeah.
So.
So can I step out for just a half a second?
Sure. Go ahead. We'll talk about you behind your back. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Betty, anybody making comments or asking questions?
We only have Shirley Early. She said, great information. Thank you.
Wow. Wait, thank you for your comment.
That really was fast.
Yeah, I have a patient in the room that their timer went off, and I was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
But my office manager checked on her. She's good. So,
Right.
All right. Sorry about that.
When we have food allergies and we have to stop eating those foods and replace them with whatever substitute that will allow us to eat without that, we still have a lot of bacteria and other things and toxins in our stomachs and our intestines that are there for, I don't know, months, maybe even years. So, if somebody's in the middle of trying to really change their diet so they're not having bloating and even like weight issues because, sometimes your body thinks you're not getting enough food, so it stores it as fat, as you know better than me. I'm just learning about this. And so if the body can recognize that we are getting it and they're not storing that fat away, we can lose weight and maintain our, what would you suggest if somebody was coming to you for something like that? What kind of treatment would you give them to help release the toxins out of their intestines?
Okay. I'm going to come back to that in just 1 second because I definitely want to answer that. But before we move on, I want to be really, really clear when I say that we're not talking about the type of allergies that create anaphylactic shock. We're talking about allergies that are irritating. They might cause some skin rashes, some sneezing, some bloating, some, just inflammation and general lethargy sometimes. So, I just wanted to be clear on that because a lot of people think that, like a kid with a peanut allergy, that we're talking about that. And I'm definitely not. That's a whole different category. Life-threatening allergies do exist, and that's not what we're talking about. So,
Right.
Okay. So that's an IgE, an actual allergic response, or there's IgG, which is the sensitivity response. And many, many, many people out there have food sensitivities, and those are going to be more responsive to a lot of the things that we're talking about, eliminating it from your diet or just having them in minimal exposure, those kind of things are going to be much more responsive. And eventually those sensitivities calm down and will go away if you're not constantly bombarded by them. So that being said, yes, inside of our intestines, there are hundreds of thousands of little bacteria. And we think, especially in our culture, the way that it is right now in 2020, that bacteria and viruses and fungus and all that stuff is bad. Okay, well, here's the deal. We can't live without them. Mm-hmm. Okay, so having the proper balance and the ones that are beneficial actually start to develop on their own when you change your diet. But what happens is a lot of times our intestinal or our gut flora is so familiar with the foods we've been giving it for the last 20 years that it's set up in proportions to manage that. And when you start changing your diet, the bacteria down there are like, hey, wait a minute, I'm starving. Why aren't you feeding me those things you've been feeding me? And they send out a chemical signal that tells you, hey, I'm craving wheat. I'm craving bread now. And it's not necessarily true that you need bread. It's more so that your unhealthy gut flora is saying, hey, wait a minute, we're dying down here, feed us.
Yeah.
They're holding us hostage.
Yes, right. So it's really fascinating, some of the studies that are out there that talk about, indigenous populations that haven't had exposure to, the junk food that most of us have been exposed to our whole lives. It's like they don't have gut imbalances. They don't have any of the pathogenic stuff that we have because they didn't start out with those unbalanced, gut microflora in the first place. They never developed them. And so.
What about Candida? How often do you see that and treat it?
Candida? Mm-hmm. So we all have some level of Candida in our systems. The problem is when it gets out of control. So are there people that have out of control Candida? Sure. Now, I know there was a period of time where there was a group of practitioners that would pretty much say everything was Candida. Yeah. And so everybody was getting a Candida cleanse. I don't think that there's one truth for everyone. As a matter of fact, I'm really, really clear that there's not one thing that's the right answer for everyone. Most of the time, it's like there's going to be variations between people of even when they have Candida issues. It's like, is it primarily upper intestinal? Is it middle intestinal, lower intestinal? Is it something that's affecting their skin? And one of the biggest things you can do to counteract that is cut out the sugar. Sugar is what feeds Candida.
And beer.
Cut it out.
Beer, Elizabeth. You have to cut out the beer.
I was going to say.
Yes. Well, that makes sense. I don't usually drink a lot, but here lately.
Yes, she does. Two on the show and two after the show.
Yeah.
Before, during, and after. Yes. So that makes sense to me. Yeah, I forgot about that. Beer is one of those. Yeah. And I don't really feel well afterwards after I've had a couple of beers. I mean, I don't feel good. My body's not used to it.
Yeah. I was going to say, and beer is one of those that hits us on multiple levels. It's wheat based. It has gluten in it. The alcohol itself tends to impact our liver and our muscular structure and everything else like really quickly, even though it's not as high in alcohol content as some of your other alcohols. It's just not what I would call a clean alcohol, as if you have clean ones. But there are some that I would consider cleaner.
But it's good for your hair. You wash your hair in it. Looks good and shiny. And then if you take a little swig while you're washing your hair, okay. You don't waste it.
Purification. Yes, I get it.
So one of the things I used to get told
a biggie
by my doctor years ago was to clean my gut to eat yogurt, and now I'm hearing that yogurt is not the best thing to eat. Probiotics on the counter, over counters, are not always the best to use, and people are using the yogurt to clean their stomach or the probiotics, and they're not doing the job, and then they just quit and they're back to the same thing. So that's why I was wondering what
pickle juice.
I can't have that.
Oh, it's delicious. You put a little vodka
it's
in
so
it. Oh my
good.
God.
Oh man, it is so good. Man,
is.
I love pickle juice.
I do.
You know when Sonic was doing those pickle slushies?
Ooh, those were
my
good.
God, was I having one?
And you put a little vodka in those. Oh, they were good.
No.
Awesome.
Help me out here, Audra.
So good. So good.
I'm just letting you guys run with it for a second.
She's a smart woman. I like this girl. She is smart. So smart.
So pickle juice is actually amazing for muscle cramps and some other things like that. Yes, you know
Yes,
it has
is.
some
It
has
is.
good electrolytes and sodium, potassium, other stuff in it.
I could be a doctor. Look at me. I could be a doctor.
For those of you that crave your pickle juice, okay. But yes, probiotics and yogurt. Yogurt, first of all, it's dairy based. Dairy is inflammatory, like we talked about.
Right.
And two, many of the yogurts out there, if you go out and you actually look at how much sugar is in them,
Oh, that's ridiculous.
which there you go, it feeds the candida as well as the unhealthy bacteria. So a plain yogurt, which most people turn their nose up,
Yeah.
you know, if you're not sensitive to dairy, a plain yogurt is going to be better.
Oh my God, it tastes terrible though.
I use it as sour cream.
Well, that would work. Or tahini sauce.
Replace with sour cream.
Yeah, make it tahini sauce or Greek sauces. Yeah, that would work. But by itself.
Maybe add some chili powder.
Some fruit.
Pickle juice.
Real fruit. Not fruit preserved.
Make a salad dressing. Pickle juice and yogurt. Yeah, that would be good. Pickle juice and yogurt with a little onion. Yum.
And I can't even hardly answer. Y'all are cracking me up. So probiotics. Probiotics are fantastic, and they do a lot of good stuff when they're balanced with the person itself. The biggest problem right now is that there's a lot of people out there that have something called SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And so they've already got bacteria in large quantities growing in the upper intestine where really it should be down in the lower intestine. And then they're putting probiotics in that are ramping up more of that overgrowth of bacteria. And so probiotics are great when they're balanced with the person themselves. But you have to know whether or not it's the right match for you, or if you're just throwing something in your system because, it says it's one of the best. Because there's lots of great advertising out there that would convince you that whatever they have is the best.
Right.
And it's not necessarily the truth. And like I said, if you're going to eat yogurt, that's fine. Just look at the sugar content.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the
How many
ingredients.
grams is too much in yogurt?
If the second ingredient is high fructose corn syrup, you probably should just put it back on the shelf. I mean, and a lot of them are. I mean, when you look at, I think I just bought a container of plain yogurt, and I want to say that it's between 5 and 7 grams of carbohydrate, but per serving. But when you look at many yogurts out there, they're between 14 and 20 grams of sugar or grams of carbohydrate per serving.
Wow.
Yes, right.
Wow. That's outrageous.
Yeah, I was gonna say, look at your labels. You would be amazed.
So somebody that's needing a good gut cleansing and needs the right treatment for them, they need to contact you and make an appointment, and you can assess them one-on-one what will work for them.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say that I'm the only person that knows that. A good functional medicine practitioner will be able to help them.
Yeah, well, we got you on the show.
Right.
I know.
And we love you, Audra.
Okay.
Now that we're talking about that, though, all I can think about is the poop transplants that they're doing now. Have you heard about those things, ladies?
I absolutely haven't heard of that.
A poop transplant.
Yeah, they take healthy feces from an individual and they implant it in someone who has unhealthy gut flora.
Oh my gosh.
I know that sounds horrific, and I can't say that I would do it, but that I, want to go out there and recommend it. But at the same time, I understand the logic behind it, because what they're trying to do is take the microflora of a healthy person and put it into someone that has a destroyed microflora, in hopes that it takes
Right.
in creating those bacterial colonies that are healthier and balanced than somebody who's just
Right.
productive.
So basically, if you're full of crap, you can make money off of it as a transplant donor.
Well, Elizabeth would, I mean, I
There are
definitely.
there are so many doors that do not need to be opened on this show.
Yeah.
Really? You didn't label them. You need to label those doors because I don't know if you don't label them.
Door. Close that door. Close that door.
Just peek around it.
Occupied. Occupied.
What you doing in
Close
there?
that door.
What's going on back there?
So,
There's so many ways to go. Oh my goodness.
Oh my
I am
God.
really looking forward to my
Occupied.
appointment with you, Audra, and my acupuncture treatment with you, and going over my progress since the first, and we'll share that with everybody next time.
I want to be your assistant. I think I could be really good sticking needles in people. I think I have a talent for that.
I would not hire her. I would not let her put a needle in me. People be throwing them from the other side of the room.
Stand still. Stand still. We're going to let the universe tell us where this needle needs to land.
There you go. For people that are afraid, these needles are so like hair size. They're so small. You barely feel them going in. Don't be afraid of the acupuncture, the needles. The needles are just so fine. And probably even smaller than some people's hairs.
Yeah, I would say I usually compare them to a coarse hair.
Yeah,
You know,
they are tiny. Tiny, tiny, tiny.
Tiny, tiny, tiny. And the benefits outweigh if you do feel them. I mean, you know, there will be some spots, like when you worked on my back through my hand, I did feel that a little bit more than some of them I didn't feel at all. So,
Right.
but that tells you got the right spot. When I go, oh, I feel that, but
Yeah,
it's not
ooh,
really.
that kind of hurts good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good hurt.
Yeah, that's a good hurt. That's progress. That's progress.
Yes, but I just got to learn to stop bending the wrong way. I got 3 dogs I trip over, you know, those kind of things going on. But I'm really excited to go back and see you and come back and see you soon.
Awesome.
I look forward to it.
Yeah.
All right, tell them how to get a hold of you, Audra. How to find you, how to make an appointment.
Sure. B Zen HWC, which stands for Holistic Wellness Center.com, or 214-551-4734.
Isn't she adorable? I just love her.
Y'all can find her information on the Spiritual Neighborhood page as well. And so, if you can't find it, ask us, and we'll make sure you redirect you to Audra. She's been doing this many years.
She's the whole package. She's cute and she's smart.
15 years.
I've been practicing in Texas for 16. I had a license in Colorado before that, and
Wow.
I started down this path in 2000, January of 2000.
You're kind of old.
God, when did you
You're kind of
start?
old.
She started when she was 10? Is that what you're saying?
I was going to say acupuncture. It makes you look younger than what you are.
I was going to say, you look like you're in your 20s. I'm surprised.
Seriously?
Yeah. I was like, man.
I'll say I am way closer to 50 than I am 30.
Okay. All right. I'm cutting this off now. I'm sick of you. We're bye.
Okay, now we're done. Okay, now we're done. I feel it coming. Yes.
I'm closer to 50. I can't help it that y'all look old.
I just got to get back to work. Let her go.
Bye, Audra. Thank you.
She needs to go. She got a client. Yes.
The recording has stopped.
I look good. I'm 50.
I don't know that there's enough needles for me.
I feel like,
You know, wow. Gee whiz. I did not know she does not look it.
well, I'm just sick of her. She's not coming back.
Keep going.
Okay, if you're cute and you're young, and if you're cute and you're old and you look too young, you're not on the show anymore.
No, but if you're 20 and you look 50, call us. We'll have you on.
On Mondays, every Monday, yes. Start that week off right. Yes.
All right. Let me tell y'all something. We have made an impression on some of our viewers, and someone wrote me and said that they had done like a little secret poll, like they do in high school, voted most popular and things like that. So they have voted us into some categories. Y'all want to hear them?
I don't know.
So I was voted most likely to laugh at nothing funny. Just
I'll say that again, you froze for a second.
I was voted most likely to laugh at nothing funny.
Yes.
Okay. Gal was voted as the one to most likely be hit by a stalker because you always have somebody in the background.
Oh, because
There's that man that constantly walks back and forth across. Yes. Yes. Yes, I know for that. I don't know that I want to know the next one.
Elizabeth was voted as the one that everyone would most likely date. And Betty was voted the one to get the most pity, because she has to put up with us.
Oh my God, that's so far out there. Okay.
I want to revote. I think I laugh at everything that's funny. Just because they don't get it, they don't see the funny, doesn't mean it's not
That's their
funny.
problem. Yeah, that's their issue. That's their mental capacity. I never thought about that. Well, that kind of puts a different light on my life.
Hey, it's like that comedian, I forgot who said this years ago. They said if you're bisexual, you increase your chances for dating by 50%. It's true.
It makes sense.
Yeah. It's true.
There's hope for the masses.
Yeah.
There's hope for the masses.
Yeah, it's just a date.
Oh, all right. That is great. Whoever came up with that, that's brilliant. I love it. Thank you.
I thought it was cute. So
that is cute.
Take another poll. That was fun. Do another one.
well, I didn't do it. This friend of mine did it.
No, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
whoever did it. Do another one.
But maybe she just lied. She just wanted to be funny and want to be mentioned on the show. But she said I couldn't use her name.
That's
so
fine. That's good. That was good.
Right?
All right, I have good news. We actually have 2 stories. 2, like Elizabeth does. Yeah, 2 stories in. 2 stories. You're like the Doublemint twins. Two mints in one.
It's in one.
So if anybody out there is interested in being in the book, Deborah, tell them how they can get in the book.
Email us.
Well, but what is no, it's not just emailing, because you got to have certain.
All right, here's the deal about the book. She asked a simple question. I gave her a simple answer. I don't know what she wants from me.
Complications.
All right, so the definition of holistic healer is somebody that does anything that helps people feel better or be healthier. So most of you in some capacity, unless you're a criminal or a banker, is a holistic healer, okay? Look at Elizabeth. I wanted to see she's paying attention.
I'm not saying. Whoa, now.
So anyway, if you're a holistic healer, what we want 3 things from you. 1, to send us a story that tells about how either you got into your holistic journey or something that moved you forward in your journey. Okay. Then we want a picture of you and we want a short bio so that we include that in the book. Okay. Easy peasy. All the money from the book, because it will be on Amazon. If it's sold on Amazon, will go to the Council of Families to Children. Okay. If you buy the books at cost, and you can do that by sending an email, and we'll order the books for you at cost. And generally, I'm going to be honest with you, like this book here, this is probably about the size we're looking at for the books. These are like $2.25 to print per piece plus shipping. So you can order 10 and get them shipped for less than $30. It's easy peasy, cheap, cheap, cheap. You can order a case of books, 2 cases, 10 cases, and have your own book signings, sell them on your website, sell them at conventions, and you get to keep all the money. Okay? What a wonderful thing.
Like that usually goes for like $19, $20, maybe $25.
Yeah, usually we put them up for sale for $19.99 on Amazon. So you can easily sell them for that or have a sale and sell them for $12 and you're still making a profit. So we'd like to have 25 people, but if we don't, we'll do it with 10 or whatever we get. So send it in.
We'll tell big stories ourselves.
Yeah, I'll just make up shit. I don't care. Well, there was a little girl named Amy Tweed, and I don't care.
I don't think you I think you've got enough stories to tell. We don't have to think nothing else.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
There's enough story now that just fill up volumes.
Oh my God, I thought I'd lost my book. You know, I'm writing on my book for my own life, and it's called I'm No Angel, but I've Seen the Devil. And I've got like 4 chapters done, and I was messing with it, and I lost it last night, and I sat here and I cried, and I cried, and I cried. And then I went, oh my God, it's just in the trash bin on the computer, and I went and there it was. Because I deleted it.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. That just, I feel for you on that one.
I was devastated.
Man.
I was devastated.
I feel that. Ooh, that's bad.
Yeah, it was.
What this book is going to do, not just for Spiritual Neighborhood and bringing monies in for a nonprofit organization for Spiritual Neighborhood and the Council of Families for Children, but it's also going to help you guys who submit your stories to get your story out there and increase your clientele and to get you a little bit more business and your name out there by submitting these stories. You're not going to get paid for them, but as Deborah said, you can buy them at cost and then sell them and make a little profit, because we all need to make a little bit of money right now. We've got to eat, we've got to pay our mortgage. So we're not, against you selling them and making a profit off it. But just know that by sending your story in, you're going to get people out there reading your book and going, oh, I really connect to that person, and contacting you for a session or whatever.
Well, and let me put this in perspective. I have participated in book series like this on several levels. The most famous one that I have participated in was the Chicken Soup books. Everybody knows Chicken Soup. They've been around for, 10 centuries. I mean, they've been around forever. Chicken Soup, as big as it is, as a conglomerate and a company and everything, only paid their writers $200 or $250 for their stories. You maintain the rights to your story, so you could publish it, and I have published mine many times, even though it had appeared in Chicken Soup. But they paid the writers $200 to $250. But look how much they make, thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars on those books. Okay, so it's not like we had a brilliant idea. I stole the idea from them, and then other people have done it, and they don't pay for it because we don't have the money to pay for it. If we did, we wouldn't need your damn story. We wouldn't need a book.
We're not making money. None of those ladies are going to make any money off this book. This book is purely going to the spiritual neighborhood. Through the Spiritual Neighborhood to the Council of Families for Children.
And what the Council family does, we buy more books and we teach classes. I personally take pro bono clients and do coaching and tutoring for the families with mental health issues and things like that. And the sooner we get this book finished, the sooner we can move on to our next little project. And we're going to do a fundraiser. And we're going to take recommendations, or what's the better word, where you say, I want this child to have this, but you submit an application, and we're going to pick a child to get a service dog. And we're working with the Great Pyrenees Rescue up at Lake Texoma in that area, and they're going to donate a dog, and they're going to help us pay for the training for that dog to where it is trained specifically for the child that gets picked. But I can't do that and do the book at the same time. So we have to do one, and then we move into the other. So the sooner they get their stories in, the sooner we get this done, the sooner a child can get a dog. I mean, it's just that simple. So that's what we're moving toward.
All righty. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, you ladies, be ready to go?
Well, but
Yes.
Elizabeth, can I have a date?
I knew that was coming.
I love making her laugh. I love making her laugh. It's hilarious.
You just
She's not just laughing, she's been red.
I know. That's what's so great about it. And she guffaws. She doesn't laugh, she guffaws.
There's that
Oh,
man.
man. Oh, jeez. Okay. I surrender.
Okay.
I give up.
All right. I
give
won.
up. Oh,
So
my
we get to
God.
leave now. I've won.
You did. You win. I give up. I give up. I am just, oh, I am.
Oh, bless her heart.
Well, everybody join us tomorrow.
I'm going to start putting something on the tops of my hat so that when I lean over, like a smiley face or
Yeah,
something, because that's usually what I do.
Oh, I figured it'd be like a little sign that says that says Deborah, kiss my ass.
Elizabeth, get a picture. Oh,
Deborah, kiss my ass.
Okay.
Elizabeth, get
KMA.
a cool picture of a skull. Get a cool picture of a skull. Because she doesn't like skulls.
Oh, wait a minute. That's not true. I've changed my mind. I've changed my mind.
Oh,
Did you not see my new mask? Did you not see my new mask?
Yes, I loved it.
It looks like a dog.
Awesome.
That nose, it looks like a puppy dog that just had surgery on his poor little lips.
No, no, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. My
Actually, I
mother.
like that. I like that a lot. I do. I like that.
I'll wear it tomorrow
I like
just
that
for
a lot.
you. I'll wear it for you just tomorrow.
I appreciate that. I'll wear mine tomorrow. I'll wear my mask tomorrow.
What mask? Which one?
Oh, I'm not telling.
you'll have to wait and see. It's going to be a surprise.
It's a blind date.
It's a surprise.
We're gonna have a blind date.
Okay, I will wear a blindfold.
There you
Blind
go.
date.
I knew you were my kind of girl. We'll get a ball gag to go with that.
Okay, let's stop.
Thank you for joining us.
Okay, we're done.
Alrighty. Thank you for sharing your time and energy with us at the Spiritual Neighborhood Lunchtime. We are a community project at the Council of Parents for Children. To contact any of the hosts, Elizabeth, Deborah, or myself, email us at spiritualneighborhood@gmail.com. And don't be shy to ask to be a guest on our show.
Don't be afraid either. Don't be afraid.
Be afraid. Don't be shy. Just be afraid.
Until we eat again, and it's lunch, right? Bye, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
There you go.
Oh, it won't stop. It won't stop.